Despite all that's been coming out, Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York is refusing to resign after the Attorney General Letitia James put out a report saying that he sexually harassed 11 different women. Now, that means that they corroborated the accounts of 11 different women. It does not mean that it is limited to 11 women, but that is so far what they've looked into. Now, he is not resigning despite those details, despite, let's see, all of the Congress people, the senators, the governors from surrounding states, and the president of the United States as well, all calling on him to resign. But so far, he isn't doing it. Now, we're gonna get into the details of what the report found in just a sec, but did you expect that once the report was out, as you were reading it, that he would resign? Should we be surprised?
No, we should not be surprised.
Some Democrats have resigned. Al Franken resigned.
Yeah, I mean, Democrats who are susceptible to shame and just and facts, I think, resign. Those are the ones who resign. But Cuomo, we knew he was gonna triple double. Like, this is the way Cuomo operates. It is part and parcel of like kind of running a reign of terror, corrupt governorship, and bullying his enemies. And this is no different. And man, I have a lot of thoughts about the defense that he has lobbied in his favor. I know we're gonna get to it all, but let me just say that these cases are so far from what he is saying. He's saying, I love to kiss people. I kiss people on the hand. I kiss people on the cheek. Sometimes I kiss people on the mouth. Whoops, did I say mouth? I meant other cheek. Like, it is very offensive to have him, for me as an Italian, for him to equate the like being a little friendly and saying ciao bella and doing all these things with like, he's like, maybe it is cultural. You are just an anti-Italian. Like, come on, dude. Or it's like Silvio from Sopranos here.
That's true.
We're gonna go into it.
I want to put an image. Yeah, so why don't we go to this first video? Understanding, we're gonna give you the details of what he did. This was put out by him as a defense. Let's take a look.
I do it with everyone, black and white, young and old, straight and LGBTQ, powerful people, friends, strangers, people who I meet on the street.
Now look, I don't like that he's sort of trying to use Italianness as, I don't like it any more than you do, Francesca. But of course, the gaslighting there is that, like, pinching someone's cheek, that is not what the report is about. Like, he is attempting to defend himself by making it about something totally different. Al Gore was not testifying against you. That's not the thing. And it is not just a hug. It is not just anything. In fact, let's go into a little bit of what they found. So investigators wrote that Cuomo sexually harassed a number of current and former New York State employees by, among other things, engaging in unwelcome and non-consensual touching, as well as making numerous offensive comments of a suggestive and sexual nature that created a hostile work environment for women. So that's a little bit broad. What do they mean? I'm assuming this is what was pictured in the shots of him with Clinton and Gore. I guess he was saying to them, as he was to his aide Charlotte Bennett, that it would be better for her to get a tattoo on her butt instead of her shoulder, saying so that people would not see it if she were wearing a dress. He made other inappropriate comments to her, such as asking if she had piercings anywhere other than her ears, a discussion Bennett described as painfully awkward. So look, that is what we're talking about here. It is not just that he hugged someone. It's not just that he was Biden-y. There was a dozen women who were saying this guy had a pervasive atmosphere of sexual harassment, attempts to sleep with people, all of that. It is an entire culture that was around him, that he enlisted people in his defense for, which we'll get to a little bit more of that in a bit. But trying to make it seem as if, well, I kissed a congressman, are you saying I should be locked up over that? Is willfully ignoring the actual content of the investigation.
Yes, I have a background leaf blower and I am so sad because I really want to talk about this. But yeah, oh good. No, it's the height of cynicism for him to use like I do gestures, I kiss young and old, black and white, as long as they're hot. I mean, wait, did I say hot? Like I'm waiting for him to just. It is so awful that he's equating this with actual sexual harassment, targeted campaigns, getting his aides to go after women who say, "Oh, the governor likes you, the governor's got a crush on you," all that kind of stuff. It's just disgusting, right? And then the other thing he's doing is not just blaming the like Italianness or whatever, but he's also trying to appeal and walk that line that a lot of people walk when it comes to being accused of sexual harassment, where they say they're basically trying to do the gray zone area, like this was a misunderstanding, that it was only a misunderstanding, and I'm gonna lean into the fact that there is a gray zone area. And hey, it's the same thing where it's like, hey, you can't even smile at a woman anymore. You can't even, like touch a woman's shoulder anymore. And he knows that that is a trigger and that a lot of men have echoed the exact same thing. And so he's using that by saying, oh, you can't even, like shake a woman's hand anymore. And that is such cynical BS. We know that it was way more than that.
Yeah. I think you're 100% right. It's a terrible defense. I don't think it's going to convince people, at least in terms of the elected officials of his office. That said, a Marist poll from last night asked people, should he resign? 59% said he should resign. 52% of Democrats, 77% of Republicans, 72% of unaffiliated voters. So a narrow majority of Democrats are like, yeah, that's unacceptable. 59% overall say it.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.